No, he's up there. He's up there arguing with him.
Finally,
Matt Meadors, president of the Greater Waco Chamber, and I are going up to Southlake to an economic development summit. The international business chambers and EDC people from about 20 countries.
We've been invited to come and tell the Waco story. We talk about our economy, talk about the dynamism of our economy, why Waco McLennan County is a great location for these countries as they go back to their countries and they talk about the opportunities in the United States, they talk about the opportunities in Texas. We want to make sure that they know that if they're looking at Texas, that they really need to be looking at our market because it's right in the epicenter of everything that's important to them when they're looking at the Texas marketplace.
We're probably more branding up here than anything else. We want these folks to think about Waco. The number of countries there is really impressive, and where they're coming from is impressive, and they're trying to reach this Texas market. So what we're trying to do is just maybe plant a seed that when they look at these areas, they think, well, what about Waco? What do we have to offer that they can't do in Southlake and Westlake and some of these urban areas? They just don't have the same offerings that we have. So we're kind of creating a twin city partnership with them, and they've been very proactive and we've been proactive and just building that brand, and it's kind of a business to business marketing plan, and that's what we're doing.
I've been in the business for a long time and I still get really excited when we start having conversations about economic development because for me, it's about people and it's about the creation of wealth and it's about economic opportunity and it's about providing people, all of our fellow citizens with an opportunity to have good jobs, to make a good living, to be able to take good care of their family and their loved ones and to provide them with economic opportunity and education. So for me, there's the macro that we talk about with economic development, and that's a whole day seminar for folks who aren't familiar with what economic development means and what it is. But it's about strategy and it's about executing strategy and it's about relationship management. It's about talking about the assets that a community has and an economy has and why that should resonate with potential investors, companies that are looking for a new home or existing companies that want to continue to invest and expand. All of that's fascinating. All of that's incredibly competitive and incredibly rewarding. But for me, it still, at the end of the day, comes down to the creation of wealth and knowing that our team, the Team Waco and Team McLennan County, and we have a fabulous team, by the way, that all of us are working together to create wealth for our fellow citizens. And when we're successful doing that, it diversifies our tax base. It means we have more reliance on business and industry to be able to generate the taxes that we rely on to pay for the things that are important to us. And we don't have to have that burden so much so on homeowners and on individuals. So for me, I get really excited about that.
It is kind of a commitment, but it's a networking thing, it's relationship building. And we just found over the years that I don't know of a better way to do it. Maybe there is one, but it's still hand-to-hand combat. It's building these relationships with people, and you just never know what comes from it. That's what has worked in the industry I'm in, and that's what we're doing here. And you just never know. Last week we did a Washington Blitz with the chamber, had about 30 people up in D.C., and we called on a couple of chambers, a couple of embassies up there from countries that are looking in our area.
U.S.-Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce, and we are multicultural.
And meanwhile, legislators and all that, and it's just, I don't know how else to describe it, Jay, it's just hand-to-hand combat. You build those relationships, and it may be a month, it may be 6 months, it may be 2 years, and someone somewhere that you may even find out about it said, well, what about Waco? And then there you're off, and you're in the hunt. And then all those other things have to kick into play to kind of make the sale. There's selling and there's branding. I think these are more branding trips. The selling comes when we actually get the lead, and then our economic development team kicks in, and we have a lot of people that come into play there, the city, the county, all those. They all kick in. We're just kind of out there like scouts, I think, Matt, trying to scout out some and give them some at-bats.
Well, in its simplest terms, a chamber of commerce is a place to gather. It's a place for the business community to come together and have conversations, about macro challenges and opportunities, all the way down to what's happening in their backyard. But it really is, it's a business association. There are lots of different associations out there. This one is, a heterogeneous, broad business association, but it really is a place where men and women, people who we all live with in our community, can come together and have conversations and look at issues and look at opportunities and talk about how we can address those issues, how we can capitalize on opportunities, and who else needs to be at the table. And we really strive to be open and to be inclusive and have the right individuals wrapped around the issues and the opportunities, and to have the really fair and open conversation. Thank you all very much for allowing us to take a few minutes of your time to come up here and tell you a little bit about Waco and McLennan County. So it's not like it's an exclusive club. It's not like it's closed off and only a very small group of individuals can be part of it. It really is an organization that is designed to provide opportunity for people to come together. They may be senior business leaders, they may own their own businesses, but at the end of the day, they're people, and they're people who live in the community together. They have homes in the community, they care about their schools, they care about their kids, they care about everything that's happening around them, and it's an opportunity for them to talk about, yes, business issues, but yes, other broader issues, and how those are all interrelated.
Yeah, part of my role, I happen to be the chamber chair this year, so that's part of it. I probably would be here anyway, but I was invited. There's a panel toward the end, and there's a panel of people to speak, and I'm kind of representing banking from what can they hear from the banking community that might be of interest to these companies that are looking to come here, and that's what I'm going to talk to them about. That from my perspective and what I know, both from the regional banks and community banks, that it's a good opportunity here. It's a business-friendly environment. There's money. The banks are well capitalized, have liquidity, and are willing and able to lend. And that's not always the case in all different parts of the country. Those circumstances can change, and if they don't have the capital and the liquidity and those type of things, they just really are kind of limited. But Texas is a good place right now. I know a lot of my banking friends, if they were here, they'd tell them the same things. For the right deals, there's capital, there's lending available out there, and good bankers out there are willing to support at all different levels what's going to be coming here. And some of them, for community banks our size, we won't bank the Samsungs and those type of companies that put in 25 billion investments. But all the support that goes around them, vendors, relationships, all those things that build the infrastructure around what they have to have a community to put those plants in, that's what the community banks do.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this opportunity tonight. It's not every day that somebody knocks on your door and says, hey, we're going to have this gathering, and we would like for you to come to this gathering. And by the way, we would like for you to stand up in front of the people who are going to be at this gathering and tell them the Waco story. Talk to them about the economy, why the economy has really been rocking and rolling, why it's a great place to invest, why the people of Waco are great people to trust and to rely on in terms of workforce and innovation and all of those things. And I get to have that opportunity to stand up in front of these folks tonight. And these are individuals, again, who are from up to 20 countries is our understanding. They're international business councils. And so these are individuals who are looking at our marketplace for opportunity, and they're direct conduits. They have direct relationships back in their country. They can take messages back to industrialists and individuals who are looking at our marketplace. And we get the opportunity to have their undivided attention for a period of time this evening to tell them our story. And that's pretty exciting.
And we're the only one.
And we're the only one.
That's wild.
We're the only community in the entire state that was invited to have this opportunity.
I think we feel like what we'll be talking to them about, and it's true. It's not hard selling something that's true. We have a very business-friendly environment back home, back in McLennan County. And that's not always the case everywhere, but our city, our county leadership, are trying to get things done, trying to be, very responsible in how they do it, responsible in the growth, but having a, business friendly, like it's easy to do business there because people are trying to make things work. In some places, it's not always the case. Sometimes they're more stiff on them. So we're very welcoming. Texas as a whole is a part, with their tax base and tax situation, but specifically in McLennan County, we have all those factors really working together well to chamber, the county, the city, all those folks working together to try to improve what we have to offer. So that makes it easy. You don't mind selling it if you know it's true. And it really is. We're at a good time. The timing is good for this for us.
Todd touched on this, and we talk about this a lot. We talk about it amongst ourselves. We talk about it with our peers. We talk about it with companies that are looking at investing into our community. There's something really special about Waco and McLennan County from the standpoint of collaboration and from the standpoint of being a business-friendly environment. There are a lot of communities, and I'm not trying to demean any other communities out there. A lot of folks talk about collaboration, but in Waco and McLennan County, it's real. Collaboration exists. We like each other, we value each other's opinion, and we value the opportunity to sit down together and work together to figure out what strategy should be and what we should be doing collectively to take advantage of opportunities and address our challenges. And we are a business-friendly community. There are a lot of communities out there now in our state, but more broadly across the country, that are not necessarily business-friendly. We are. We care about the business community. We want to bring the business community together. We want additional investment. And we often tell these companies when we're talking to them and they're going through the decision-making loop as to where they want to put their investment, we tell them, let us be really clear about this. This is not the beginning of the relationship. If you make a $300 or $400 or $500 million investment in our community, that's not the end of this relationship. That's just the beginning, and we will be there for you every step of the way. Business friendly, and we're serious about it.
Matt's great. He's been doing this a long time. He understands what it takes to get deals done, how to bring people together, build a consensus. And that's another thing I kind of learned this last year. It's one thing to say you have all the assets, you have the land, you have 13,000 acres of 11 parks and all this, but you also have to have the ability, when people see that done, then they know it takes a combination of all these factors to get the permitting done, to get the cities and counties and multiple cities and sometimes to coordinate on these facilities and things, all that goes into it. It's not just a matter of having some cow pasture out there and them building $1 billion plant. When people come here, they shake their head and nod. Just like when we see in my business, you see a strong, functioning, well-run business, you know that there's a lot of effort that goes into that. And I think when people see these facilities, and especially in recent years, all the investment that's gone on, they see, well, we know what it takes to do that, and y'all have got what it takes to make that happen. So Matt knows how to make those things work. He listens to things differently than those of us that don't have that experience. He knows it's going to take this piece, it's going to take that piece. We got to pull them together and build a consensus. Even among the educational centers we have there, with Baylor, McLennan County, and TSTC, and those surrounding us, he knows how to pull that all together. It's really valuable to have in the room when those times come.
For a long time in our marketing and our communications, we have talked about our really enviable physical location, and it is a great location. If you look at the Texas Triangle, as we all talk about, it is one of the most dynamic economic areas in the entire world, not just in Texas, not just in our country, but in the entire world. And Texas is business friendly, we're business friendly. The world knows that the United States market is a place that they want to be, or they should at least be giving consideration to. And so when you take all of those pieces and you put them together, and then you set that in front of you, and then you also, as we were talking about a few minutes ago, you look at the people of Waco and McLennan County, serious-mindedness about the business community, and that we really care about the business community, our spirit of collaboration, and then you look at the great physical assets we have, not just our physical location on I-35, but you look at the great physical assets we have. You look at Lake Waco, you look at the fact that we're on Interstate 35, you look at how close we are to major markets and how close we are to the ports of Houston. I mean, it's really unbeatable, and we're just in a great place.
Manufacturing is just one of them because it's so visible. It's such a visual process to go in those plants and see highly automated plant processes and things. Not many people get to see that firsthand, but I think when they do, they're like, oh my, you don't have to leave and live in a big city to have a challenging top flight career where you're going to be tested be on your game.
I think if someone hasn't been to Waco for 10 years, they would be very pleasantly surprised. There's no question that the community has grown and matured a lot. If you go back about 10 years ago, maybe just a little bit longer, and you look at our gateway along I-35, our northern gateway for people who are traveling south along I-35, I mean, what an eye popper. That is one heck of a presentation, one heck of a hello to Waco. That gateway is remarkable. I think they would be very pleasantly surprised with what has happened with the basketball arena and with the football stadium, what Baylor University is doing. I think they would look at our downtown and go, wow, the downtown has really matured. And if they got out and around a little bit farther from that part of Waco, and if they took a drive through our industrial district, I think their heads would spin, frankly, at the level of industrial investment that we've been able to bring into this community. It's billions and billions of dollars that we've been able to bring in just a short amount of time that has created tremendous economic opportunity and tremendous wealth.
On the panel I'm on, they didn't give us specific questions. They gave us areas, kind of guidance of what we're going to be talking about. So we'd have they want it to be fresh, so it's not prepared. But just the guidance of what they're talking about is kind of right down our path of the things we've talked about today. I think we're going to see, I got a little bit, Matt would know this because he does it all the time. I've been surprised at how open and receiving these international companies are that come here. I see Matt's head nodding. I didn't get to go, they went to Germany last year. We think Waco, Texas is not that, we don't think of ourselves as maybe being that sexy of a place, but these international companies, man, they're very eyes wide open to what you have to say, open to what you have to offer, very accommodating. Matt can do a better job describing that, but I'm just really surprised. We're a big deal to them. That's the way they make us feel anyway. And you start talking about the things we have to offer, they're nodding along, and they want to come here. They want access to our markets. And I think the fact that you just show the effort in a lot of these cultures, maybe here we get a little more Teflon to it or whatever, thick and skinned about it. But they're really excited that you took the effort to come see them and talk to them, spent the time, very accommodating. It's a very warm reception. I know Matt, I think, will tell you he feels that way too. Very satisfying.